Imagine you're walking down the street or sitting in a cafe, and someone locks eyes with you. Then suddenly they smile. It catches you off guard, doesn't it? In that split second, your mind races with thoughts. Do I know them? Is something on my face? Why did they smile at me? We've all been in this situation, and let me tell you, it's not just a coincidence. Every smile has a story, a reason, a meaning. Today, we're diving deep into the powerful psychology behind those unexpected smiles. What's going on in their mind? Why did they choose to smile at you? Before we uncover the fascinating reasons, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss the eye-opening insights we share. Let's get into it. Now, let's talk about why someone might suddenly smile at you when they make eye contact. Here are the most powerful reasons, and each one might surprise you. 1. Connection and familiarity. Sometimes when someone smiles at you, it's not just a random gesture. It's a sign of recognition, even if you've never met before. This smile comes from a deeper subconscious place. Their brain might be picking up on something familiar about you. Maybe you resemble a friend, a family member, or even someone they once knew. It's like you're triggering a past memory in their mind, and that memory brings a sense of comfort or warmth. For example, you could remind them of someone they used to be close to or someone who had a positive impact on their life. The brain makes these associations instantly, even without conscious thought. In that moment, they're not just smiling at you. They're smiling at the memory or feeling you've stirred up. It's almost as if their mind is reaching out to connect with that familiarity. And the smile is the expression of that recognition. This is why sometimes strangers seem to give you an unusually warm or knowing smile. It's not about the present, but about a past connection, however distant it may be. 2. Attraction or admiration. Let's be real. Sometimes a smile carries more than just politeness. It can be a spark of attraction or admiration. When someone looks at you and smiles, they may be drawn to something about you that stands out. Perhaps it's the way you carry yourself, your confidence, or even your physical appearance. Attraction isn't always about looks alone, though. It could be your energy, the vibe you give off, or the way you interact with the world around you. For example, if you walk into a room with a sense of purpose or radiate positivity, people are naturally drawn to that. A smile can be their way of expressing that they've noticed you, that there's something intriguing or captivating about your presence. It's a subtle but powerful form of communication. Without saying a single word, that person is acknowledging that something about you caught their eye. This kind of smile can also stem from admiration. Maybe they see a trait in you that they respect, your style, the way you speak, or even the way you carry yourself with confidence. It's their way of saying, I see you, and in that moment, their smile becomes a quiet but meaningful signal of interest or approval. Whether it's physical attraction, emotional intrigue, or simply a moment of admiration, that smile is their unspoken way of connecting with you on a deeper level. 3. Pure kindness. In today's fast-paced world, genuine acts of kindness can seem rare. But for some people, a smile is their simple yet powerful way of spreading positivity. They smile not because they expect anything in return, but because they believe in the power of a small, selfless gesture. It's their way of making the world a little brighter, one smile at a time. For example, you might encounter someone who smiles at you for no apparent reason. It's not about attraction, recognition, or even an inside joke. It's just pure kindness. They understand that a smile can be contagious and can lift someone's spirits, even if only for a moment. Maybe they've experienced a tough day themselves and know how a simple smile from a stranger can make all the difference. Or perhaps they're just someone who enjoys spreading joy, using their smile as a way to pass on a bit of happiness to whoever crosses their path. This kind of smile is like a small act of human connection, an unspoken reminder that we're all in this together. Sometimes that smile is their way of saying, I see you and I hope you have a good day. It's a small but meaningful gesture, showing that despite the challenges and stresses of life, there's still room for kindness and positivity. These smiles often leave a lasting impact, reminding us that a little kindness goes a long way. 4. Nervousness or awkwardness. Here's a surprising twist. Sometimes when someone smiles at you, it's not because they're being friendly or kind. It's actually a sign of nervousness or awkwardness. Eye contact can create a lot of tension, especially if it's unexpected or prolonged. In these moments, a smile becomes a natural response to break that uncomfortable feeling. It's almost like their brain is saying, "Quick, do something to ease the tension." And a smile is the easiest way to defuse the situation. When people feel unsure or uneasy, they often use smiles as a defense mechanism. They're not necessarily smiling because they're happy or comfortable, but because they're trying to soften the moment and make it less awkward. For themselves, and sometimes for you too. It's an instinctual way to navigate social anxiety or discomfort. For instance, if someone suddenly finds themselves locking eyes with a stranger across a room, it can create an instant, awkward moment. That smile is their way of managing the discomfort, an attempt to turn a potentially awkward situation into something less tense and more approachable. It's their way of saying, "I'm not a threat. Let's make this less weird." In some cases, it's more about their internal feelings than about any connection with you. So, the next time someone smiles at you out of the blue, consider that they might be feeling a little anxious or self-conscious, and that smile is their way of handling that vulnerability. 5. Social cues and politeness. In many cultures around the world, a smile is more than just an expression of emotion. It's a social cue, a polite response when making eye contact with someone. When two strangers lock eyes, it can feel like a moment of acknowledgement, and a smile becomes the nonverbal way to say, "I see you. I recognize your presence." It's a gesture of politeness, not necessarily tied to any personal connection, but rather to social norms that promote friendliness and warmth in everyday interactions. This is especially true in environments where kindness and openness are encouraged, like in small communities, friendly towns, or even certain countries where hospitality is deeply rooted in the culture. In these places, smiling at someone you don't know is seen as the courteous thing to do, an act of goodwill. It helps maintain a sense of connection, even among strangers, by showing respect and friendliness. For example, you might notice that in some cultures, people are taught from a young age to smile when they pass someone on the street or when they make accidental eye contact. It's not about attraction or any deeper meaning. It's simply a way of keeping social interactions pleasant and positive. A smile in this context says, "We're sharing this space, and I want to acknowledge you with kindness." Sometimes, these smiles can feel impersonal because they're not about you specifically. They're more about following the unwritten rules of social etiquette. However, that doesn't make them any less valuable. Even if it's just a polite gesture, a smile can still brighten a day and remind us of the shared humanity we experience in everyday life. So when someone smiles at you, it might just be their way of being polite and maintaining a sense of warmth in their social environment. 6. Shared moment or understanding. There's something uniquely powerful about the silent connection between two strangers who share a moment of understanding. Maybe you're in a public place and witness something funny, surprising, or even strange. Without exchanging a single word, your eyes meet and a smile forms. In that instant, it's as though both of you are acknowledging the same thing, sharing the same thought or feeling. That smile becomes an unspoken bond, a mutual recognition of a shared experience. These moments are often brief, but can leave a lasting impact. For example, imagine you're both on a crowded bus and a child says something unexpectedly hilarious. Or you both notice something unusual happening around you. The smile exchanged isn't directed at each other, but at the situation you've both witnessed. It's a way of saying, "Did you see that too? That was something, wasn't it?" This kind of smile speaks volumes without needing any explanation. It's a recognition that, for that fleeting moment, you and a complete stranger were on the same page, united by a shared emotion. Whether it's humor, surprise, or even disbelief, it's one of the rare times where two people, despite having no relationship, experience a brief but meaningful connection. In this sense, the smile acts as a bridge, crossing the boundaries of social barriers and bringing people together in an effortless yet profound way. You might never speak to that person again, and you may not even remember their face, but for that moment, you are linked by the same observation or feeling. These moments of shared understanding remind us that even in a world full of strangers, we're not as disconnected as we might think. So now you know the real reasons behind those sudden smiles. The next time someone looks at you and suddenly smiles, remember, it's never random. Every smile holds a meaning, whether it's sparked by admiration, a sense of familiarity, or just a moment of pure kindness. Sometimes it's simply an effort to ease awkwardness or a polite gesture of acknowledgement. Pay close attention to the energy behind that smile because you might uncover more than you initially realized. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced something like this? A stranger's smile that left you wondering why? Or maybe you've shared a moment of understanding with someone that made you feel connected in a unique way. Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to know how these subtle interactions have impacted you. If you enjoyed this video and want to dive even deeper into the fascinating world of human psychology and everyday interactions, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more intriguing content coming your way, so don't forget to tap the notification bell to stay updated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.